aka Geeks. aka Geeks.
Hey everybody, welcome to aka Geeks. This is our The Walking Dead review breakdown. I'm Sean. With me I have Lynn.
This is take 3, everybody. What's up?
Hey, yeah, take 3. Had some technical difficulties, but it turned out to be okay. Hopefully this one makes it. This week we are reviewing episode 11 of season 8 of The Walking Dead. This one's titled Dead or Alive or. Here's a little blip about it. Daryl finds himself in bad company as his group heads to the hilltop. Gabriel's faith gets tested. There's 3 main kind of areas that this episode focuses on. I want to start with one particular because it's kind of disconnected from the other 2. I want to start with Daryl and the group of people leaving Alexandria and going to the hilltop. About all this that's going on with him, Dwight, Tara, Rosita, and everybody else. How do you feel about this? Are you enjoying what they're doing? All the dialogue that's happening between them, everything that's going on, especially how they're treating Dwight, or specifically Tara's treating Dwight.
I was ready to say one person.
Tara versus everybody else. I mean, like, what are some things that stand out to you in these moments that are within this area?
All right, so you want specific moments that stand out? Because
did you like it? Did you enjoy this part of the episode?
Yes and no. And here's why. I didn't enjoy anything with Tara. I thought the whole Tara thing feels forced.
It does, right?
And it just like, all right, from their time, I know it's been like months since the death.
Yeah, maybe months, and it's for us. It's half.
And for us is almost almost 2 years.
Yeah, so I've kind of gotten to the point where I've forgotten about the storyline, and it doesn't mean too much to me, right?
Yeah. But, I mean, woman, come on. That should not be your first focal point. That's all I keep saying. And the more you drive a stake or a wedge, the more he's going to want to betray you, you dumbass.
Yeah, it's like she's daring him to do something over and over, and then she keeps pushing. Like, she's trying to bully him to do something so she has an excuse, so she can feel good about herself. And then she could tell Rick and Daryl, oh, I killed him because I had to. Mm-hmm. When you just want to kill him. Yep. You know, because like you said, it'll make me feel better.
And it was so obvious to everybody else. She wasn't hiding anything.
Yeah.
So
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say no. That's the only thing I disliked. Them try to avoid the saviors and doing the undercuts and what have you. The swamp was pretty cool, but not as big of a big deal as the trailer made it out to seem.
I thought it was gonna be more like when the swamp area when Shiva got killed, like that area, like that was more swampy, you know?
No, actually, that was all toxic waste. That was like a dump.
Yeah, I know, but it still seemed more swampy, like, you know, in like the ground and what.
Dude, they were almost knee deep. They were almost waist deep in swamp. That's a swamp what they were in.
I guess, but it didn't fit my picture because some of the water was like watery.
Spoken like a true city boy. Never been to a swamp.
I'm not a city boy at all, but I don't know. I thought it was going to be more, even more murky and more dense, you know, but you know, it is what it is. I did like what I liked about that part where they're wading through the water is Sadiq. Sadiq was right there up front and center, you know, already trying to carry his weight. And I like that. It's promising, I think.
I didn't care for that as much. Because when I first saw him, I was like, I didn't notice that it was him right away until they gave a better shot. I said, oh, there's the red shirt.
You thought they were going to kill Sadiq?
Yeah, because I'm like, they have so many people. I was just like, all right, they're going to give some nobody a death.
Lynn, they can't kill 2 doctors in one episode.
Well, he technically isn't a doctor. He just had a residency.
Well, he was in his residency, so he just needs to do the final stages. But
right.
I like that he's already participating. Tara's stuff does seem forced a bit. It seems like, I mean, because in real time it's been 1.5 years, almost 2 years probably, since Denise died.
Let's go within I would want to say their time within 6 months to a year.
Yeah, but for us, I'm saying for us,
yes,
it's totally lost its impact. Tara's character, it would be better if she had a grudge but wasn't trying to act out like this, because to us it just doesn't, it doesn't match. If it'd be fine.
Now, to be fair, we've seen little bits of this come and go, but it would have been fair and more beneficial if it was consistent. Not, okay, sometimes she's going to be the badass that she's pissed off and wants to go after the saviors, and then, oh, well, next time she's all hunky-dory and not even thinking that way. If it was consistent, like hard-nosed, like Carol or Daryl, if she had turned into that type for the entire time that they're battling the saviors, then I can understand her just having that heart on. But she wasn't that type of character at all throughout this whole thing. It was little spurts.
And now she's putting other people in danger by leaving all those people who are unarmed, just to finish her vendetta.
Yeah.
What did you think about Dwight in this whole circumstance? Do you feel like I liked some of the things he said. Like one of them got away. If I return to Negan, my head's on a pike. Yeah. And he's already accepted his fate. At least he's told them, like, look, I get it. I'm just trying to help you guys through it because I want Negan done. Yeah. I like what's going with this. I like his character arc right now, and I want to see more. I like what he did was threw himself in front of those guys to stop him from going to the swamp to save everybody, kind of to prove himself. But what's funny about that is when he did that, Daryl said, "Oh, I don't care. Once I see him again," he was all pissed at him. I'm like, Daryl, he kind of saved you guys. I don't get it.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So that part, I enjoyed all that stuff. The next stuff I want to talk about is a little heavier, I guess you could say, is the stuff that's including Gabriel and Carson, Dr. Carson. As I alluded to earlier, they can only kill one doctor per episode, and we lost the good Dr. Carson today on this episode. They had this whole dichotomy in this episode between the two of them with Gabriel's faith and Dr. Carson's analytical mind.
Yeah, a man of faith and a man of science. Someone speaking realistics and know-hows what is concrete and in front of them, and somebody who's just hoping on a whim is how the man of science would think that this all-seeing being is leading him towards something.
Yeah, and at the point, so they go through all these little things, and a lot of things are turning up for Gabriel, like by happenstance, right? And like, it's just happenstance. I mean, in my opinion, if you believe that was God doing that, then obviously you don't have free will. You don't, obviously you're a chess piece. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
So I choose not to believe that way. So I side more with Carson. But Gabriel's words and the way he explained things definitely affected Carson, I think, a little bit.
Yeah. But I think at the end, it was Gabriel whose faith is now questioned again, because here he was tooting and hollering about all this stuff, like we're on our journey. This is where we're meant to be. Next thing you know, Doctor dies. He's screaming. I was like, wait, this is not what it's.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I'm gonna do what you told me to do, and just I see the sign.
Yeah.
I saw the sign, and then didn't work out for him.
Yeah,
didn't work out for him. I don't know. I liked this back and forth. I really did. For me, for not being that as Gabriel is, I'm not religious anymore. I liked the back and forth between the two. It was definitely good to see, and some of the happenstances, the little luck things that happened were pretty fun and interesting. Just how they kind of fell into place. I liked seeing both sides. What about you?
I liked it when they were inside the cabin and they were like dealing with the pig bank and the radio guy. And what's funny is when I saw the radio in there and in the journal, I said, they show us the radio now. I'm wondering if when Mr. Dork comes back into the fold, if he's going to steal that radio.
Oh, okay.
And try to use it to communicate to other people, such as the lone survivor that committed suicide did.
Okay.
Because I'm wondering if that was just like, hey, look, there's a working radio here.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes they do this in the show where you think that they're giving us foreshadowing and they don't.
Yeah, I know. But I think this one wasn't meant to be seen as foreshadowing, but I took it as it because Like, come on. A house with a full working radio and all these other little trinkets that, you know, is completely secured from zombies, hence the traps.
Yeah.
And no one's going to go back there for anything? Like a certain someone?
So,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, with the whole show of The Walking Dead,
Especially when they do the expansions later on.
Issues with this, and just a little issue. It's nothing big. Just me nitpicking right here.
Yeah.
Is that if they've done such a good job of scavenging, don't you think they would have found this damn freaking house already, right? They drive from one place to the other, going slowly, and they get that, you know, and they're doing all this scavenging for days, and you would think that they would have found this house already.
Yeah, but at the same time, considering that they were near the swamp, and that the house was on the other end with Gabriel and what have you, and it was closed off because it was closed off with the camouflage tarp and netting. So it might have. It's possible it could have been missed. The traps were outside that.
I thought initially that it was Seaside,
Yeah.
the ocean people.
I could imagine thinking that, but
well, I'm just thinking, like, where haven't they scavenged yet? And they just conveniently come across these places, you know?
I mean, I don't think they've gotten everywhere. Let's be realistic. I think they've because by this point they're not branching out too far. They're not doing.
Yeah.
You know, they're going in between the Kingdom, Hilltop, Alexandria, what have you, and then branching out a little bit further, like a day or two's ride, and then head back. But I don't think they're going through every inch of that day or two's ride of land that they're going through.
Yeah, which we'll probably see them. That'll be in the future, which we know about in the books, in the comic books. So let's move on to like we said, and before we jump off this portion, like we mentioned, Dr. Carson dies. So we lost Dr. Carson. We still have Sadiq, but we lost Dr. Carson, and it breaks Gabriel's heart, it seems, at the end there. Gabriel gets returned to the Sanctuary, and all this time at Sanctuary, they were focusing a lot on Negan and Eugene, and talking about Negan was talking a lot about going to find Carson and Gabriel, and Eugene's playing, you know, coy about it all and kind of pointing the blame back at Carson. What's your thoughts on this whole everything that's going on with Eugene and Negan?
I think Negan knows what's up.
I think he does too.
I think he knows what's up, and at the same time, but he also thinks Eugene's too stupid and too scared of me not to tell me the truth. So I'm gonna push his buttons into believing him that I know something, especially when he's telling him, you know, this is turning to a bigger world of shit than what was promised to me. So I'm sure he knows what's up.
Every now and then, Negan's character, some of the things he does and says, I like.
Yeah.
I'm still upset with him with how he's acting because I want to see some loyalty to the people that have saved his life over and over and over and over again. And but every now and then he says some things, like there's a line when he starts to when they're in the warehouse area building the bullets, doing the bullets, and the girl comes to him and he goes, you know what, you give me a sandwich. He tells her this is going to be the break room area for hospitality, cheering you up and morale boosting, whatever. Yeah,
that's going to be the area where the guys that he's got working for him get to eat.
Yeah.
So start taking orders.
Yeah. I'm not bringing him a sandwich. I'm sorry, I said sandwich, but he said bring me eggs and tomatoes and all this.
And then the other guy, he goes like, no, peppers.
Peppers. Put a lot of peppers in there. Yeah. So I liked some of that dialogue. I do think Eugene's really scared. And do you think it's scared because he just doesn't want to get caught? I think he's just totally worth self-preservation.
Yeah. I just wish that the bullet making thing was already established, because by this point it should have. And
yeah, because that came up a long time ago.
Yeah, but the thing is, he should have already been there, already had a supply of stuff before the Saviors even took that over and what have you. But what pisses me off is from this episode, we finally get the one thing that I thought was going to tease earlier, that it was going to happen to Carl, that Negan goes, ding, 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 let's do this. Yes. And I'm like, really? Really, guys? You're going to go that way now?
finally.
You
Which
couldn't
is,
you couldn't have done that with Carl?
Yeah, which is putting infected blood or entrails and skin and stuff like that on their weapons, and then they're foreshadowing, and also with the teasers for next week, they're wanting them to wound them if they don't want to join them, and then let them turn.
Yeah.
So that's what they're trying to do. That's what Lynn's referring to, which we've talked about previously on this breakdown, the review. Overall, though, I like the back and forth between Negan and Eugene. They both have a way with words, and so I love how they just kind of go back and forth and spitball at each other.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel the same as you, though. It should have been there already. They should have been doing this bullet stuff previously already.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this episode as a whole?
Oh, we're not going to talk about the hilltop? A little bit of the hilltop that they show?
So sorry. Back to the hilltop. Some stuff's going down with Maggie and them. Of course, Gregory's being a little bitch about things and whining. The one guy that's been trying to appeal to the kinder side of Maggie throughout their incarceration tries to ask for some, some yard time, so to speak. And Maggie has a moment in there where she's being a hard ass, right? Because she feels like she's being made this way by Negan and the choices that are being thrust upon her. But then she has a moment in the office where she sees the little girl. What was her name again? Daisy?
I believe so. The baby, yeah.
Daisy or something like that.
Yeah. The baby that was rescued.
Yeah. She has a moment with her, and I was just watching this, and she looks at her a couple times, and you could see, like, that baby's bringing her humanity back from the harshness. And so she decides to actually give them some yard time, 2 at a time, but they're going to be forced to either work or whatever for medical treatment or whatever the case may be. How do you feel about all this?
I mean, I like this. I just wish somebody should already be hanging by now.
Oh, because, just like on a consistent
Yeah,
basis?
I'm so sick of Gregory. It's not even funny. It's not even funny.
He was going to die a long time ago.
Yeah, it's like, I know there's a set point if we ever get to that set point where it's supposed to happen, but that even can't happen anymore because Carl's gone. Carl's the catalyst for that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my god, so much that they took away. But yeah, he's got to swing from the ropes because I'm done with him. I do like the one savior that's appealing to Maggie, but at the same time, I understand from her point of view. Her people don't have a lot of food. And if I was in her situation, I'd be the first one saying, yeah, you know what? I don't give a shit about you guys. You're prisoners. Live or die. I don't care. I got to take care of my people. My people need to eat because my people are taking care of this community. And we're trying to build something. So fuck you guys. If you don't eat, not my problem.
Like, see, that's kind of one of those things, like, I feel like you at that point. Like, Maggie could have totally said, when he asks for food or whatever, she goes, oh, yeah, I might be cutting your rations. And then she turns around and she goes, I don't have a choice or something like that. I would have said something, like, me personally, I would have been like, I'm in this position because of your boss. And now you want food from me?
Yeah.
You guys, like, I would have been like, you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself, fool.
Yeah.
But, like, that's, like, the thing is, like, they're in that position because of them. But yet they expect to be, like, treated like we treat prisoners now in current time and day, you know?
Yeah. Let's give them a roof over their head. Let's give them free medication. Let's just feed them all. Let's get them nice and fat and do nothing.
So the thing is, I like this stuff that's going on with Maggie. I like the fact, because I actually totally felt that she's becoming this, not becoming permanently, but this vicious side of hers coming out because of what's been happening.
Well, I don't even see it as being vicious. I'm seeing her as
more than what she's had to do. I mean, she killed a guy literally in cold blood, and that's not her MO. You know what I mean? That's not her.
Can you really say it's cold blood when she's trying to send a message to? She's sending a message the way that messages have been sent to them all this time.
No, I know, but to her it's cold blood. You know, because at that moment, that second, she's not defending herself.
But at the same time, she's doing whatever it takes to take care of the people that are relying on her.
Exactly.
So I don't think she sees it as a cold blood, and I think that's where that key moment you said with the baby came into play, because she was like, at the end of it all, yeah, the focus is the people. I'm trying to take care of the people. That's my responsibility, and I think that's what lended back to that softer side of her winning over.
I still think that's in cold blood because at that moment in time, that literal moment, I'm talking about that 1 minute prior, 1 minute after.
Yeah, I don't think she was thinking about it. I think she was thinking, all right, this is what we're doing. That's it.
Yeah, and I know. And that led to other things, and she's going down this path, and she's had to be very hard because of everything that's going on. And that baby made her remember, like, oh, shoot, we got to be more than this after everything's said and done.
Yeah.
And so that's when she made that decision. Now, it's just a slight difference in how you and I see it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the same thing, essentially. I like this stuff with Maggie. I like that her character is having these two things that are kind of tugging on her.
Yeah.
How did you feel about what was going on with Morgan, Henry, and Carol?
I appreciate Morgan lying to the kid.
Okay.
By saying he already got him.
Yeah. So he doesn't try to kill somebody else, Yeah,
right? It's like, but damn, Morgan, you gotta give it a rest now.
He needs to level out, man.
Yeah, just take a chill pill. Take an Adderall.
He needs to get laid. That's what it is.
Hey, he's got to stop, man.
The thing is, I think that guy with the long hair is gonna die. He needs to die. But I have a bad feeling that he's gonna kill somebody else before he dies. The prisoner.
Oh, I think he's going to die, but he's going to die at the hands of one of his own guys.
You think so?
And he's going to be the guy that talks to Maggie the most.
Appealing to the Maggie's good side. That would be a nice redemption for them. At least, look at this guy's whack. There's a lot of us who just want to live. We want to live, and we're doing what we had to do to live. If we can live peacefully, we'll do that. But this guy's whacked out. He's whacked out. But I do think the guy with the long hair might take somebody down with him as well, whether it be with words.
I hope not. I hope not. He's already.
But that would be the setup, right? That would be the setup because he's the one that was guilty for the death, and he got away scot-free as of right now. The only people that know is Morgan. I think Carol
knows.
Carol knows. So Carol and Morgan know that he killed Henry's older brother.
Yeah, because that's why she was saying we don't need to tell him at first.
Yeah. So I like this back and forth. I like that Carol is telling Morgan, go
take a break. Here, man. Yeah, take a break.
And then Maggie's over there watching Carol. I like that because she's seeing this leadership. She's really paying attention to what's going on in her camp. So, okay. Now, what are your thoughts on this episode as a whole?
Not bad. Nothing. It's they say that these next episodes were ramped up. I don't feel this is ramped. I think this was slower than even last week. And I'm like, hey guys, man, I don't know how long you're gonna stretch this. If you're gonna lead into next season and not get into the final climax, as far as war, and leave that for next season, you're gonna have a lot of pissed off people. Because right now I don't see it ramping.
Yeah, we have 5 episodes left. I like this episode, but I do agree with you. It was slow.
Yeah.
It was a slow episode. It definitely needs to start picking up some stuff. Some dominoes need to be put in place and knocked over
a lot quicker.
Yeah, because we have 5 episodes left. Because there are certain set pieces that are going to be able to be 1 episode long. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's things that are going to be 1 episode long, so they need to figure that out. With 5 episodes remaining, yeah. So next week, what are you looking forward to next week?
Wait.
Okay, go.
We ended with them finally finding out the news about Carl. And and they ended with Rick arriving to the hilltop, but they didn't show us Rick.
They didn't show Rick. Before we go to Rick, though, what did you think of how the director, how they did that moment with the music? I found that very, very nice and very like pull on my freaking heartstrings right there.
I disagree. I like the camera shots, but I felt like when Susan and I were watching this, she didn't know what was going on. I had to tell her, oh, they're finding out about Carl right there. This is all about...
You have to read his lips.
Yeah. And right there at that moment, I was like, they're letting him know, but they're letting everybody else know about Carl. And then...
It's breaking down.
But if somebody's not really picking it up, they would have been lost and be like, what is all this? So they could at least let Daryl say...
hear his voice.
Yeah, because you hear, or at least, where's Rick? Carl Michonne. Let somebody say, "Where's Rick, Carl Michonne?" Let him like. That's when he lowers his head and be like, "No." And then you can cut to everybody else. That would have made more sense.
Yeah,
but they were quiet.
Yeah.
They started the music right from the opening of the gates, and nobody said anything because you couldn't hear it, and you had to guess what he was saying.
See, I see what you're saying, but I read his lips when
That
Daryl
I'm
said
not.
it. And I
I'm
was
talking.
like,
That's you. That's me. We got it because we were focused on it. Somebody else who, like, was Susan didn't catch it that they were talking about Carl right there until she saw Enid crying.
yeah, and that was a good part. I felt like I felt otherwise though. Like I get what you're saying, and I think that could work as well. That could actually help enhance that, so you know specifically what they're saying.
It would have been better for more of the masses to know that they were talking about Carl.
But I do still like the scene overall. That part of the scene, and I felt like out of the Carl stuff so far, that's probably been the best part so far. I guess. I think, but even then, it's still
the whole Carl thing. I'm like I said.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's been all these things that have been related to Carl's death so far.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, like, out of all these things so far, to me, this was the most, like, emotionally, like, I don't know, like, gripping.
Yeah.
Out of. So okay, now again, what do you think of the episode? If before I forget anything else, or if I did forget anything else, what did you think?
Well, like I said, it was slow. It was okay. Nothing really big. I think, to be honest, some of the focus didn't need to be as long as it was. It could have been done shorter. And I have a funny feeling because of the way these episodes are going, stuff like the tainted weapons is going to be shrunk down. It's not going to have as much of an impact as we're used to it being, because it's going to be rushed through. And other aspects of, if they want to finish it up, close it up this season. Mind you, this is why I'm saying, if they plan on dragging it, then I can see them extending this, which I really don't hope they drag this.
I really hope they end it this season, because this is the end of season 8 as a whole.
Yeah.
I want season 9 to start off the next arc in the story.
Yeah.
I really do. I really do. I don't want to stay on this for too much longer. What are you looking forward to next week?
Simon.
Oh God.
Simon.
That scene that they gave us when he said, "Oh gosh, that was Negan's car."
Yeah.
He's like super overacting, like, "Oh gosh."
Yeah, and it was so, I don't know how Dwight missed that. He was blatantly aware that this truck was coming at them.
Oh geez, you're right. That was Negan.
And then the fact that when Negan and Rick are being chased, I heard police sirens. So I'm like, did Rick get and pull off sheriff mode and start chasing him down? We're like, woo, pull over, motherfucker, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah. I like Simon's little smirk at the end, right? You can see just underneath his mustache. Oh God, that was really good. I think Stephen Ogg is doing a great job with Simon, and I want to see him in more stuff. I do.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that too. I want to see what this leads up to, though, because Negan, he looks scared at that moment. When he's driving, he's like concerned about what's going on.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to this, man.
But I'm hoping it doesn't stay just on a car chase and it gets into that. Finally, Rick and Negan butting heads, because if they
teased us once.
Huh?
They already teased us with the fight once.
Yeah, no, this better lead, like both of them wrecked to the point that they got to get out, and then suddenly I know Rick's on top of them beating his ass. Because this shit has to happen. Point blank.
Yeah, I want to see what happens to get to there and what happens after that.
So, no, but don't make it a freaking 20-30 minute chase scene and then give us like 3 minutes of a fight that leads into a following episode.
What do you think's going to happen with Simon? Do you think Simon is do you think he's evil? Like he's evil, or he can be like Dwight and be like?
No, he's not going to be like Dwight. No, dude. Right now, he's so fed up at Negan. He's looking at being new leadership. New Negan. He wants to take over, and it's pissing him off that Negan's not letting him do what he wants to do. And he's already. I don't know how Negan does not know what he's done to the Junkers yet.
Yeah, and nobody said anything. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm like, what the fuck, man? No punishment?
I wonder when that's going to come to light. So maybe next episode.
I mean, he's talked to Rick after Rick's already been to the Junkers. Let's be realistic.
Yeah, I want to see what happens when that comes to light. If he's going to beat Simon's ass,
Yeah.
hit him with the bat or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, any last words, Lynn?
Hurry it up, Walking Dead. That's all I can say. Hurry it up.
Give us what we want.
Don't drag it out.
Pay it off. All right, guys. So that wraps up our review of The Walking Dead, episode 11, Dead or Alive. Or Lynn, would you like to also say goodbye, please?
All right, guys. Later, everybody. It was awesome, as always.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Make sure to check out the podcast on Thursday. We'll be streaming that live. Spreaker, iTunes, SoundCloud, 4chan, all those websites.
SoundCloud.
I don't. But check out the podcast on Thursday. It's going to be a good one. And check out everything else we got going on YouTube. We appreciate it. Leave us some comments. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, and tell us what we could do better. For Lynn and myself, thank you, and we'll see you guys next time.
aka Geeks.